Well, we're moments away from the start of the final game of the 2018 European Men's Softball Championship. The coaching staff for both teams meeting at home plate with the umpires. Before the game starts today, we're going to have also a bit of a pre-game ceremony, which we'll get to in a moment. Just going over the lineups now, as you see the Czech team. This will be the third time in 2 days that the Czech Republic and the Netherlands have met. They met twice yesterday. The first game was won 11-6 by the Dutch. And then the Czechs countered later on in the day with a 7-0 victory. So this will be the rubber match of sorts. That loss for the Czechs, the Dutch win, has been the only game that the Czechs have lost so far in the tournament. The Dutch have lost 2 games. They also earlier in the tournament lost to Denmark. However, they atoned for that in a big way earlier today with a 5-3 win, which many of you probably saw there already today, thanks to a 4-run 6th inning in which they scored 4 runs on 2 home runs and 2 doubles. And the crowd here, a big, as you can see them with the drums beating.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final of the Men's Softball European Championship. These two teams, the Czech Republic and the Netherlands, met in the final in 2012. Since then it was always Czech and the Danish. Now please let me ask the teams to line up. First we'll start with the host team, the Netherlands. Number 9, center fielder, Jefferson Delfino. Number 19, Glensick Polonius, second base. Number 13, Elric Diekhoff, shortstop. Number 28, Enric Javier, catcher. Number 3, Ania Plus, designated player. Number 1, Emeron Lorenz, third base. Number 22, Anthony Bowman, first base. Our catcher. Number 8, Ildegard Rapp, right field. Number 6, Quincy Jones, left field. Number 17, Nick Nieuwenhuizen. And the rest of the team, Lars Ham, Martin Galot, Robert Overman, Ron Dix, Andrew Brunken, Hero Mulder, Matthew Colton, and the head coach Bentham Pass and his staff. The home team for the final, the Czech Republic. Domácí tým Česká republika. Začínáme číslem 99, Václav Svoboda. Player. Číslo 4, number 4, David Merkel, number 77, číslo 77, Patrik Kopečný, center fielder. Číslo 19, number 19, Tomáš Klein, first base. Číslo 50, number 56, Mateusz Kasal. Number 32, číslo 32, Michal Kolů. Left fielder, levé pole. Number 2, Tomáš Petr. Druhá meta, second base. Number 78, číslo 78, Jiří Nezbeda. Pravá pole, right field. Number 11, číslo 11, Jiří Korčák. Třetí meta, third base. And number 30, the pitcher, Jonáš Mach. Číslo 30, naposledy českého týmu Jonáš Mach. Prozatím na lavičce zůstanou Martin Turek, Lukáš Fiala, Daniel Černý, Michal Bala, Marek Joska a Petr Frejla. Tím hlavním koučem českého týmu je Tomáš Kusí. A jeho tým trenérský. Head coach Tomáš Kusí je dneska. Before we start, we have a special occasion here. There was a person who came to introduce softball and baseball in the Czech Republic more than 50 years ago. His name was Aleš Hrabě. When he was young, he went to a summer camp where he learned how to play softball. They used to call it playground ball back then. And since then, he continued on introducing softball to basically everyone who he has met ever. He came to an idea to establish an official organization for softball and baseball in the Czech Republic. But he found out that to do that, he needs a number of teams or clubs that play that sport. So he called his friends in universities and told them, hey guys, we need to set up some teams. They did that, and in the early 60s, they were able to found the first organization for softball and baseball in the Czech Republic. Teď česky. Slavíme tady dnes Aleše Hraběho, který je zakladatelem softballu a baseballu v Čechách. Když byl mladý, tak jel na tábor, kde mu bylo představeny palkovací hry, parkovací sporty a jeho to zaujalo a od té doby se stal propagátorem softballu a baseballu, respektive palkovacích her v České republice a každého, koho potkal, tak mu ten softball představil. Tenkrát tomu říkali playground ball, anebo na táborech hráli americkou verzi, které se říkalo pasák. Ta se hrála většinou jako s větví a tenisákem nebo nějak něco takového. Nicméně ty principy hry samozřejmě odpovídaly. No a Aleš si v 60. letech podařilo založit první organizaci, začlenit softball a baseball do oficiálních sportovních struktur v Čechách. Ale nebylo to jednoduché, protože zjistil, že je potřeba, aby v Čechách byl dostatek nějakých týmů a klubů, které se tomu sportu věnují. A tak zavolal svým přátelům z vysokých škol, aby každý nějaký tým založil, to se nějak povedlo a díky tomu bylo možné v 60. letech založit první organizaci baseballu a softballu. Aleš Hrabě is the honorary president of the Czech Softball Association and also the Czech Baseball Association. Also, he is the Hall of Famer of both of these organizations. Aleš Hrabě je čestným prezidentem baseballové i softballové České asociace a zároveň je členem síně slávy obou těchto organizací. Proč jsme ho pozvali dnes? Je to proto, že byl oceněn Českou unii sportu za moment. Tady to nemám, nicméně oceněn velký přínos oběma těmto sportům, za mimořádný přínos v oblasti rozvoje tělovýchovy a sportu. Today, Aleš Hrabě is awarded by a golden medal from the Czech Sports Union for meritorious service and exceptional work in development of physical education and sports. I would like to welcome Mr. Gabriel Vage, President of the Czech Softball Association, and Petr Dietrich, President of the Czech Baseball Association. And now I would like to introduce Mr. Aleš Hrabě.
Well, here is Aleš Hrabě, who has been awarded by the Czech Sports Union for meritorious service and exceptional work for development of physical education in sports. And this year he celebrated his 90th birthday. And he's getting a standing ovation from this crowd here. This award he's getting is presented by Gabriel Vage from the Czech Softball Association and Petr Dietrich of the Czech Baseball Association, who were already introduced.
It's not only the celebration time because of the award, also this year Aleš celebrated his 90th birthday. Letos pan Hrabě oslavil 90. narozeniny. Od baseballové asociace dostává speciální dres se svým jménem a hodinky. He's been given a special uniform by the Czech Baseball Association and also a watch. It's a special tournament watch from one of the baseball events. From the Czech Softball Association, Aleš is given a special photo, a stamp for his birthday. Now Aleš received a golden medal and a certificate from the Czech Sports Union. Pan Aleš Hrabě dostal zlatou medaili od České unie sportu. Thank you. Děkujeme za vaši přítomnost na hrací ploše. And now over to the guest. Děkujeme.
Well, Aleš Hrabě there. He's shaking hands, you see, with the Dutch team. He was awarded a golden medal for meritorious service and exceptional work for development of physical education in sports. He was given a picture from the Czech Softball Association for his 90th birthday and a watch and a uniform from the Baseball Association. And now he's also shaking hands with the Czech team.
introduce of this game. Home plate umpire, Thomas Leonard. First base umpire, Jens Jakobsen. Third base umpire, Brian R. Now please rise for the national anthem.
Well, the lineups have been announced. The awards and pre-game ceremonies are done. The national anthems have been played. The teams are now shaking hands, and soon the Czech Republic will take the field and we'll get this final game underway. You can see the players now, players of the Czech team in their pre-game huddle, and the Dutch players. And that's Aleš Hrabě, the man who was just honored in that pregame ceremony that was in the middle of that Czech pregame huddle. Bit of inspiration, maybe. They've taken the defense. We see Tomáš Klein heading over to first base, and here is the defensive alignment for the Czech team. Kolev, Kopečný, and Nezbera in the outfield. Korčák, Kasal, Petr, and Klein in the infield. David Mertel doing the catching. And the starting pitcher is Jonas Mach. Now, Mach we saw yesterday pitch one inning in relief in the game against the Netherlands. In the game, the Czechs won 7-0. It was shortened by the mercy rule. Mach has still not taken his position yet, as we see shortstop Matos Kasal, and the leadoff hitter of the Dutch team will be Jefferson Delfina. Just finished quite a game, as did the rest of the Dutch team. That is Ron Dix, who is not in the starting lineup, but he does occasionally play, and we might see him today. A lot of fans here at this game, which is not a surprise. A Saturday night, people from all overcoming, and there is Mach taken to the mound. In the tournament, he has appeared in 3 games and started 1. He has a record of 2 wins and no losses. 1 complete game. In 7 innings, given up 5 hits, 5 walks, and has 13 strikeouts. Opponents batting .208 against him. So no runs against him. A perfect ERA of 0.00. Can't get much better than that. So we'll see how this Dutch team deals with him. And we're feeling quite a slight breeze. It has not been as warm today as it was the last couple days. In fact, I'm going to put my jacket on before this game starts. We're mentioning Delfina, the leadoff hitter. Delfina batting an even .300 in this tournament. 6 for 20 with 2 doubles and a triple. Got a lot of speed in the lineup, as we're just not far from starting this game. And he's hit by the first pitch there. So what a start to the game. Not something you expect to see. But that's certainly not what Mach wanted to do as we get another look at this. Leans in there, just gets hit in the shoulder. But that's definitely a player that the Dutch like to get on base. The leadoff hitter, Delfina, lots of speed on the base paths, as we've seen all tournament and out in center field. The next batter in the lineup is Glensig Polonius, the second baseman, also a guy with a lot of speed. And he's showing bunt, waves at it. Stolen base, they call him out. Oh, it looked like he had it there. Delfina was going for the steal. Looked like he got in there with a slide. Maybe he came off the base a little bit. Polonius, I don't know if he was just trying to screen it there a little bit, but we'll take another look at this. Well, it looked like he definitely slid in there ahead of the tag. But the only thing I can think of is perhaps the hand came off of that. The Dutch coach not happy with the call, talking to the home plate umpire, hoping that the plate umpire will overrule him, but does not look like it's going to be the case. Well, nonetheless, Polonius steps back into the box. Oh, the 0-1 pitch, 1-1 now. Polonius batting .286 going into this game, 6 for 21 with 3 doubles, 4 RBIs, slugging .429. He's walked 4 times. They're looking him to, he pops this one up and out of play. So 1-2 the count. Well, getting Delfina on base there was definitely what the Dutch wanted to do. And Polonius is the guy who could move him along. Now they're hoping Polonius can play that leadoff role with 1 out. A swing and a miss, so 2 down in the top of the first inning. We now move to number 3 hitter, Eldrick Dykov, the shortstop. Dykov batting .375 in this tournament. 9 for 24. 3 RBIs, but the only way he can get an RBI now is if he hits it out of the park, which he hasn't done yet this tournament. Fouls off the first pitch from Mock. He's taken off his glasses now. Not sure if he thought he would need them, but definitely clouded over now. The sun is not going to be in his eyes, that's for sure. See the count, 1 strike. Outfield playing Dykov deep as he's got power. He goes up the middle for a single into center field. Center fielder Kopechny, and to get that one. A good piece of hitting there with 2 out by Dykov. So with 2 out and a runner on, Enrique Javier, another big hitter in this Dutch lineup, comes to the bat. So we're going to get another look at that hit. Well, Javier batting .368 so far in this tournament. He's catching this game. Sometimes he catches, sometimes he plays first base. We've seen him play first base the last couple of games. He does have a home run in this tournament. Off goes Dykos, the throw to the second base, and he got him again. So 2 throwouts there by catcher David Mertel, catching 2 Dutch runners attempting to steal second base. So that's all for the Netherlands in the top of the first inning. They got 2 runners aboard. They're both thrown out at second base. We get another look at that hit into center field. As we see the Dutch team ready now to take the field.
Dámy a pánové, prosím o chvilku pozornosti. Jelikož odsud přenášíme nejenom na web Playo.tv, ale také na i vysílání České televize a vysíláme tam přes LTE data, já bych vás ráda poprosila, jestli byste mohli vydat své telefony a vypnout si data, protože tím, že vy teďka máte zapnutý internet, tak nám odebíráte data pro ten přenos a na České televizi se to může sekat. A když se to bude sekat moc, tak oni nám to odříznou. To si nedělám srandu. Takže pokud jste ochotní si vypnout datový internetový přenos ve svém mobilu, prosím, udělejte to. Now in English, our feed from the stream goes not only to Playo.tv, but also to the website of the Czech National Television. And if we want this feed to be good enough, we need to switch off our data in your cell phones, so the data goes only to the LTE that we use for the transmission of the code and not to your phones. Thank you so much.
Well, you just heard that announcement, perhaps. This webcast going in both the English and Czech languages. You're obviously listening to the English broadcast. At least I hope this passes for English. But they want, in order to get the best broadcast possible, they're trying to get people in attendance to turn off the data of their mobile phones. Good luck with that. The starting pitcher for the Netherlands is Nick Nieuwenhuizen. Now we saw him yesterday he came in relief in both appearances against the Czech Republic. In the first one he was brilliant. He came in the 3rd inning and did not allow a run for the rest of the game. Overall in the tournament, He has an ERA of 5.83 with 3 wins and 2 losses. He's pitched 18 innings with 17 hits, 16 runs, 15 of them earned, 10 walks, 19 strikeouts. He's given up 3 doubles and 6 home runs with opponents batting .250 against him. Stepping in to lead off for the Czech Republic is Václav Svoboda, and he rips it into the outfield. That'll go to the left fielder. He'll be held for a single as Quincy Jones gets over there to cut that off. Get another look at that. Hit by Svoboda just out of the reach of Dykov. Svoboda was batting a clean .600 before that hit. He is now 16 for 25 in the tournament, and I'm not going to be sharp enough to do that conversion in my head, what the average is. The catcher now, David Mertel, steps up to the plate. He takes a ball on the first pitch for Nieuwenhuizen. Nieuwenhuizen looks in for the signal. Mertel batting .526 in the tournament, 10 for 19, takes high ball 2. He also has 7 home runs in this tournament. Out of 19 at-bats, that's incredible, in fact. 16 RBI. Slugging 1632. That's a called strike, 2-1. So this is not somebody that Nieuwenhuizen wants to just take lightly, and the count now 3-0. He doesn't want to throw anything over the plate because he can hit it hard, as he's shown throughout the tournament. The 3-1, ball 4. So 2-1 with nobody out for the Czechs in the bottom of the first inning. Patrik Kopečný, the number 3 hitter now. Kopečný batting .304, 7 for 23, 3 RBIs. He's got a couple runners out there now, first and second. He takes ball 1. Two doubles, 1 triple. He strokes that into center field. That'll be good for 1 run. The leadoff hitter, Delfina, knocks that one down. Svoboda in to score. Mertel to second. Kopečný on first. 1-0 Czech Republic. Still nobody out to the bottom of the first inning. And this crowd here, as you can see, coming alive. That pitch looked a bit low, but he went down and got it. Delfina knocking it down, getting it in quickly. But all you can expect him to do in that case. And now Tomáš Klein, the cleanup hitter, up to bat. Klein batting .467. And he takes a strike. Klein 7 for 15. Slapped it into center field. Back goes Delfina off the wall. This should clear the bases. Klein has a double, scoring 2 more runs. Czechs in front, 3-0. So 4 batters up. We get another look at that. No chance. They were playing him a bit shallow. You see the speed on the base paths there. 2 runs coming in to score. Next, Matos Casal. Casal batting .308 with 2 home runs and 4 RBI. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Nieuwenhuizen. The Czechs have really been on him in the first inning here today. As I mentioned, he had a great outing in relief yesterday for about, let's say he pitched 3 1/3 innings and they barely touched him. He's ahead 0-2 now on Matos. That pitch is in the dirt, 1-2. Klein on second base, nobody out. Two and two. Ground ball to second base. Polonius over to first, can't hang on to it. That was Beaumont, could not hang on to that ball, that throw from Polonius, and those are the kind of errors that the Dutch simply cannot afford right now. And they get another run there with Klein scoring, an unearned run. Next batter now, still nobody out, mind you. Michal Koluk, left fielder. Koluk batting .316. Behind now 0-2. As Nieuwenhuizen definitely looking for that first out of the inning now. Gets a piece of that popped up. He's got to have this one, and he does. Beaumont with a catch for the first out of the inning. So with 1 out and a runner on first base, Tomáš Petr, the second baseman. Petr batting an even .500 going into this game. 7 for 14, 4 home runs. Takes inside ball 1. Also 10 RBIs. 2-0. That one just out of the strike zone. And a 4-pitch walk, and they're going to score a run here. No, they tag him out. Klein tagged out. So they do get their second out now. A wild pitch on ball 4 that Klein tried to score on, and he's tagged out at the plate. Casal moves on to second. So first and second now with 2 out. Jiří Nezbeda, now the batter. Nezbeda only batting 188 in this tournament. The appeal down to the umpire, no, did not go. So 2-0 is the count now. Nezbeda with only 3 hits in 16 at-bats. He does have a home run though with 3 RBIs. Chase is 1 in the dirt, 2-1. Outside, 2-1. The second straight walk issued by Nieuwenhuizen. So the Czechs now have the bases loaded with 2 out. They're sending the 9th man to the plate this inning in Jiří Korčák. Korčák batting .357, 5 for 14, with a double and a home run. And he takes a strike. Korčák has 5 RBIs in the tournament. He has, with the bases loaded, he has the chance to get a few more. Oh, and 2. And although they've given up 3 runs in this first inning, a strikeout or any kind of out here to get out of this inning would be huge right now for the Netherlands. Called strike 3. So he does get out of this inning with a strikeout. There was a fair bit of damage in that inning with 3 runs on 4 hits, also 2 walks and an error. But with the bases loaded, the Czechs leave 3 on base. It could have potentially been worse for the Dutch. So they will now come to bat in the top of the second. Enrique Javier will come back to the plate to lead off.
První na válku přichází s číslem 28 Enrique Javier.
Enrique Javier to lead off the second inning for the Netherlands. He was up to bat when Dijkhoff was thrown out at second base to end that first inning. So he now comes up to bat with nobody on base and a fresh count. Takes outside 1-0. Mach gave up a hit, and he also hit a batter in that first inning, but got out of that inning unscathed as both base runners were called out at second base attempting to steal. Two and one the count. Three and one. Javier hits that one. Is it going to drop? A diving catch by the right fielder, Jiří Nesběda, and he makes the play. What a big defensive play on Javier, the leadoff hitter for the Dutch. He can't believe it. That definitely looked like it was going to fall in. And he was even some concern that he may be hurt. That looked like it was going to bloop in for sure. Here comes a dive, and wow, what a catch. Well, it looks like he's okay there in right fielder, Nesběda, and he will stay in the game. He's going to get a hand from his teammates when he comes in, that's for sure. So Eniel Kvas comes up for the Dutch, who just can't seem to catch a break today. He fouls off the first pitch. Kvas batting .294. He's 5 for 17 with a double, 5 RBIs. Kvas, the designated player. We sometimes see him at first base. Chases a pitch in the dirt, 0-2. Tries to check his swing, but called out. He wasn't sure about it at first, and neither was I, but it is a strikeout. The first for Mach. And now to the plate, the guy that the Dutch team has always looked for a spark, and this is, boy, a time they could certainly use one. Emeron Lorens goes around on that pitch, so 0-1. They fell behind yesterday against the Czech Republic 3-0, but came back to win 11-6. Sparked in no small part to the play of Lorens, who hit a 2-run homer in the 4th inning, which brought the team to within a run. Earlier today, he also played a big role in the team's comeback victory as he swings at a pitch high and out of the strike zone, 1-2. Not only did he play a big part in that 4-run 6th inning, which proved to be the difference in that 5-3 win over Denmark, as Lorens strikes out, chasing another pitch out of the strike zone, then thrown out of first base. So trying to provide a spark there, but doesn't manage to do it in the top of the 2nd inning. Mach with 2 strikeouts, and in the middle of the 2nd inning, the Czechs lead 3-0. Well, as we go to the bottom of the second inning, the Czechs are back to the top of the order as they sent all 9 men to the plate in the first, in which they scored 3 runs. So as he did in the first, Václav Svoboda leads off the second inning. Of course, he led off with a single and also scored the first run on the RBI single by Kopechny. Two and 0. Three and 0. We'll see if Svoboda has the take on here. He probably does, and he does indeed take a strike. Ball 4. Svoboda looking over his shoulder, maybe thinking about taking second base as that ball went to the backstop. Now David Merkel also singled in the first inning, scored the second run. He scored on the 2-run hit, the 2-run double by Klein. Actually, it was just a 2-run single. Runs well outside, 2-0. Ground ball to third base side, just foul. Lorenz was on it. So Svoboda back to first base. That one's low, 3-1. Pops this one up. Delfina should be under it. He does, makes the catch. Svoboda back to first base. One down in the bottom of the second inning. Kopechny was the third batter in that bottom of the first inning, drove in the first run of the game, and takes low ball 1. Down 3-0 already. The Dutch cannot allow the Czechs to add to this lead. But Kopechny rips a single into left field. Svoboda holds up at second as Jones gets that one back quickly into the infield. So the fans on their feet again as the Czechs have 2 men on and threatening with 1 out in the bottom of the second inning. Tomáš Klein with 2 RBIs already in this game, and he's got a chance to do the same. And we're seeing Nieuwenhuizen already done. That closes the book on him. An inning and a third. gave up 3 runs in that first inning. And we'll see who the new pitcher is going to be. It is going to be Mulder, who had pitched less than 2 innings yesterday. He had a problem with his knee. It was still bothering him earlier today in the game against Denmark. Yet nonetheless, he pitched a complete game, 7 innings, giving up only 3 runs to the Danes. And we're going to see now if he's got anything left in him. Join Mulder. ERA of 0.54. He has 3 wins and no losses in the tournament. In 13 innings pitched, has given up 4 hits, 1 earned run. He's issued 7 walks, has 27 strikeouts. Has not given up, he's given up 2 doubles, but no triples, no home runs. Opponents batting .098 against him. So there's no question he is the ace of this Dutch staff. The only issue has been with the knee. It didn't look like he might get very far in that game against Denmark, but and early on it seemed to be giving him trouble, but he held in there and pitched a very strong outing. We'll see what kind of effort he can give in relief for this team, because they really cannot afford to let this get too far away from them. Matos Kasal. Wild pitch, and the runners both move up in. There might be a chance. To score a run there. As we see Daniel Czerny pinch running on third base. Patrick Kopechny on second base. Czerny thought about going home, but thought wiser of it. Klein hits it hard to center field, and that one is long gone. Forget about it, it's gone. Over the second fence, possibly in the river. That is 3 more runs, and that is 6-0. So, I was just saying before that the Dutch can't let this get too far away from them, but in the second inning, it might already be too far away from them. I mean, this wasn't, there was no doubt off the crack of the bat that this one was gone. Delfina in center field can just watch it go. Nothing he can do. Now Michal Koluk with the bases empty and 1 out. Koluk popped out in the first inning to first base. He's 0 for 1. High and inside. That's Kasal. Klein now has 5 RBIs in the game after that home run. Drove in 2 runs in the first inning and now 3 runs here in the second inning. Big swing and a miss, and down goes Kassal. So Kassal is 0 for 2 after he reached on an error in the first inning. We look again, that long bomb by Klein. So with 2 out, the batter now, Michal Koluk, and it was Koluk that popped out in the first inning. He takes low ball 1. Wondering if 0-2 as he didn't, sorry, 1-1 as he didn't hold up his swing. Now it's 1-2. As Mulder just trying to get this team out of the inning, and he's 1 strike away from doing that. Outside 2-2. Fans getting louder now, they're smelling blood. Koluk gets a piece of that, fouls it away. Ground ball to second base. Beaumont takes it himself for the out. But 3 more runs for the Czechs on 3 more hits. And after 2 innings, they lead 6-0.
Jens Herkelsen, Danish national team head coach. Jens, this time only bronze medals. You're not used to that.
No, it wasn't quite what we were expecting, but for us, no matter what, it's a big success to be able to play next year in Prague for the World Championships.
What was the reason? What didn't work out?
I think one reason was because the tournament is in June when we have a lot of schools still. Then the coaching staff couldn't come, so I was only able to arrive on Friday. So the players, they did a really good job and coached the team themselves. But of course, in the end, it takes a lot of energy to coach and play. So I think that could have something to do with it.
You're one of the icons of men's fast pitch in Europe. Do you feel like the level of men's fast pitch in Europe is improving?
It's a little hard to say maybe level, but the top teams are for sure getting a little better every year. But of course, when you have a lot of new teams, maybe the bottom 5, 6 teams, we haven't really seen that much. Of course, the level isn't that high, but we're really glad that they're here and playing. 12 teams is great. Hope they get better next time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Helena.
Well, that was the coach of the Danish team and the patriarch somewhat of the team. He has 2 sons, Mr. Terkelsen. And yeah, they usually expect to be in this final, and a lot of people expected them to be here in the final against the Czech Republic. They did lead the game earlier today. Before, as we said, that they were ahead 2-0 in the game, but ended up losing 5-3. Relying heavily on the pitching of Kim Hansen. So the Dutch came back to win that game, and they really got their hands full if they want to do the same this time. They're a bit more behind, 6-0 now in the top of the third inning. Anthony Beaumont coming up to bat for the first time in the game. One and two the count. Swing and a miss, strike three. To another strikeout by Mock. His third of the game. Coming up now, Edgardo Rapp, the right fielder. He's come up with a lot of little singles for the team. That he's managed to find some holes out there. He's batting .308, 4 for 19 with 5 RBIs. He does have a home run. Takes inside for a ball. Swings at a pitch just up out of the strike zone. 1-1. One and two. Goes after a pitch on the outside corner. And he strikes him out, another K for Mock. In fact, that's 4 straight strikeouts for Jonas Mock. Quincy Jones, one of the more recognizable names on this team. Often see him out in left field. Good range in the outfield. Speed on the base paths. He didn't start the game earlier in the day against the Danes because they wanted a bit more pop in the lineup. He did come in later to pinch run and scored a run. Takes low, 2-0. Quincy Jones is batting just 143 in the tournament. He has just 1 hit in 7 at-bats. He has 2 RBIs though. 3-0. He has walked 4 times, and he now faces a 3-0 count. And he takes a strike. As you had to know, with 1 hit in the whole tournament, Jones had the take on all the way there. He might also on this pitch. Oh, another called strike. Well, they will turn Jones loose for sure on this pitch. And I would expect Mock against the bottom of the lineup like this to come into the strike zone as well. Strike 3, so that's 5 straight strikeouts for Mock. He strikes out the side here in the top of the third. After 3 innings, the Czechs in firm control, 6-0. As we go to the bottom of the third, we see already the third Dutch pitcher of the game, so I can only assume that means that Mulder was not healthy enough to continue pitching. He probably would have started this game, let's be honest, if he had been. So the pitcher there is Angel Brunken. Brunken has 7 innings pitched in the game, 5 hits, 14 runs, only 6 of them earned, a 5.73 ERA. And in to face him is Tomáš Petr, who walked the first time up. And he did not walk the first time. This is popped up to left field. Quincy Jones under it to make the catch. First out. So Jiří Nezběda now up to bat. He's 0 for 1 in the game. And we saw that fantastic catch he made in right field in the second inning. He was shaken up a bit by it, but got up and seemed to be okay, and he remains in the game. He takes ball 1 inside. Ball 2. Brunken finds the strike zone, 2-1. So Nezběda walked on 5 pitches, and this Czech lineup is dangerous enough, but you don't want to be putting the players at the bottom of the lineup on base. Not that those players aren't damaging, can't do damage as well, but you got to get out somewhere. And is that called foul? That is called a foul ball, as Kopčák turns on that pitch and rips it down the first base line. And Kopčák is the number 9 hitter. He is 0 for 1. He was the third out of the first inning. up the middle. Shortstop, wow, nice play. Cannot make the double play. That was backhanded by Dykhoff over to Polonius for the first out. Nice defensive play there. They get the lead runner and 2 out. So Korchak for 2. Back to the top of the order with 2 outs and 1 on for Václav Svoboda. Singled in the first inning and walked in the second. Third time up to bat now in the 3rd inning. And he hits that one hard to left field. Is that going to stay in the park? Looks like Quinn Jones is under it, but he can't get to it. Home run, another one. Václav Svoboda. And it is now 8-0 for the Czech Republic. Jones in left field was going back. It looked like he thought he had a chance for it, and I don't think that cleared the fence by very much. Not by much. It was not like that blast by Klein. And it's now a case where the question is not who's going to win this game, or even by how much, but how many more innings this is going to go, because the different mercy rule scenarios now start to show their face. And ground ball by Myrtle, get the out at first base to retire the side. But Václav Svoboda with a 2-run blast, and the Czechs now have opened up an 8-0 lead after 3 innings. Well, now back to the top of the Dutch order in the top of the 4th inning, as all 9 Dutch players were retired the first time through. 2 of them did get on base, but were both put out trying to steal second in the first inning. The first of those was Jefferson Delfina, who was hit by a pitch. The very first pitch of the game hit him. Which was, he then tried to steal second and was called out. He's behind now, 0-2. 1-2. Mach really rolling right now. He struck out the side in the third inning and struck out the last two batters in the second. And he now records his 6th consecutive strikeout. So to the plate comes Lensik Polonius. Strike one called on the outside corner. Up the middle, and that's a base hit. Their second hit of the game, and first since the first inning. So Polonius 1 for 2. Eldrick Drykov, who got the team's first hit of the game and then was caught stealing with 2 out in the first inning. He's got a runner on base. And Dykhoff has 3 RBIs. He hits that one hard to right field. Nesbeta tries to make another diving catch. Can't quite come up with this one. So back-to-back hits have 2 runners on base for the Netherlands with 1 out. As we'll take another look at that. Slices it out to right field. Nesbeta tries to, was not far away from doing it actually. Made that great diving catch in the second inning. Enrique Javier now. A couple of runners on base for him. And if they're going to do anything, if they want to prevent this game from ending in 5 or even possibly 4 innings, this looks like an opportunity where they need to put up some runs. And here comes a fly ball, drops in front in center field. They're not going to send anybody home, but they now have the bases loaded as 3 straight base hits by the Dutch team with 1 out. And coming to the plate, Ennio Kvas, who struck out in the second inning. Javier flew out to right field the first time up. That diving catch, of course, that I mentioned by Nesbeta, and now a base hit here. So he is one that seems to have been on top of Mach in this game. And the Dutch desperately need Kvas to come through here. Big swing and a miss. One and one. Two and one the count. So Mach facing the most adversity he's faced so far today. He will not want to. That's a called strike. As you know, he does not want to walk in a run, so you have to think he's going to try to throw strikes here and make Kvas beat him. He did strike out Kvas the first time he faced him. And he strikes him out again as Kvas chases a pitch in the dirt for the second out. And that is the 7th strikeout of the game for Jonas Mach. Emran Lorenz, who would like to give Mach a better battle than he did in the first inning, where he looked very overly aggressive, chased a couple of balls out of the strike zone and struck out. And there he takes a swing and a miss at strike one, his second time up. 2 out now. One and one. Outside, 2 and 1. Two and 2 as Lawrence fouls that one off. So Mach 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Ball on the ground, is that a fair ball? No, it's called foul. Kopchak fielded off the bounce and tagged third base, which would have been a force out, but it is a foul ball. As Lawrence continues to battle Mach. The 7th pitch of this at-bat coming up now. Up the middle for a base hit. This will score 1, maybe 2. Will there be a play at the plate? Play, the throw not on line, and the Dutch score their first 2 runs on an RBI single by Emran Lorenz. So the guy who's always been the team's spark there hits that one up the middle and has cut this to 8-2. Polonius and Dykhoff scoring the 2 runs there. And now Anthony Beaumont, as the Dutch try to chip away at this lead. And with a 6-run difference now, they are now out of any immediate danger of being mercied. Of course, the Czechs are going to have their turn up to bat too, and they've been tough to stop. Beaumont struck out his first time up. And chases that one low, strike 1. At the end of this inning, we remind you, when the Dutch team is finished batting, that we will have an interview with Josh Peet, who played in this tournament for Team Great Britain, as Beaumont takes another swing and a miss and is behind 0-2. One and two, as Mock has a couple more pitches to play with before he has to bear down on Beaumont. Swing and a miss, strike three. So flip over another K. That is 8 now for Mock through 4 innings. The Dutch strand a couple, but they do score 2 and now trail the Czech Republic 8-2 after 3.5 innings. And now, as promised, interview with British player Josh Peet.
I'm here with Josh Peet, one of the key players of the British team. Josh, in the end, it's no World Championships for you. Is there a disappointment?
Yeah, there's a lot of disappointment in the team, but we feel like we worked really hard. We gelled as a team. You know, we kept going to the very end, but unfortunately, this wasn't our year. But you know, hopefully get the wild card maybe, but we'll see what brings next year.
What do you think you can do better next time? Where was the mistake maybe?
I think for some of us local in England, maybe to come out into like either Denmark or somewhere else and get a lot of game time and go through and play more games really for us.
What will be the top event for you from now on when there's no Worlds?
Obviously the Super Cup coming up, so that'll probably be our next tournament and work towards that and then go from there and see what comes in next year, see where we travel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Well, Josh Peet batted .316 in the tournament this year with a couple of home runs for the British team and 9 RBIs. Saw them play a couple of games yesterday against Denmark, beat them once and lost them a second time, and they finished 4th in this tournament. Up to bat now for the Czechs in the bottom of the 4th inning is Patrik Kopečný. Kopečný is 2 for 2 with 2 singles and an RBI in his first 2 times up to bat, so he's been a tough out. In fact, he hasn't been out at all in this game. Inside, and that hits the arm of the umpire. Fouls that one away. 2-2 the count. Kopečný fouls off another pitch. Count now runs full. And Kopečný draws a walk to lead off the bottom of the 4th inning. So Brunken got 2 strikes on him and even got him to foul off several pitches, but could not get that 3rd strike or a ground ball or anything that would result in an out. And now to the plate comes Tomasz Klein, who hit that mammoth 3-run homer the last time up. He's 2 for 2 in the game. With a double and a home run. The double in the first inning drove in 2 runs. The home run in the second drove in 3. So he has definitely been full value for that cleanup spot today. He has cleaned up totally. And he's got Kopechny on first base. Nobody out here in the 4th inning. Three and 1 now the count, and you can't blame Brunken for not wanting any part of the strike zone with Klein. Ball 4, so Klein draws a walk. With the 5 RBIs today, Klein now has 12 in the tournament. Matos Casal. Well, we're making another pitching change. So Emeron Lorenz will be the 4th pitcher of the game for the team. And it's unusual to see that many pitchers in one softball game, as they're using everybody available to them today. Lorenz has made a couple of pitching appearances over the past couple of days. Overall, he's probably the best player on this team, but he is a bit far down on the depth chart as far as pitching. He has 3 innings pitched, and in that time has given up 3 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned, issued 5 walks, and not struck anybody out yet. He has an ERA of 9.33. He has pitched briefly in each of the 2 games against the Czechs in the last 2 days, and did not fare especially well. He was removed. He started the early game yesterday, gave up a couple of runs in the first inning, another in the second. He got pulled. Of course, the Dutch ended up coming back to win that game. His first pitch to Casal is a strike. Casal is 0 for 2. He reached on an error in the first inning. Fouls that one away and out of play. 0-2. Lorenz couldn't get Casal to bite on that outside pitch, 0-2. Called strike 3. So down goes Kassel, who is now 0 for 3 in the game. Michal Koluk is now the batter. Pollock 0 for 2. Ground ball to third. Steps on the bag across the diamond. Can't complete the double play. Over on third base now is Ron Dix. I had to scramble to find his name because that's usually where Lorenz is. So 2 outs now in the bottom of the 4th. The Czechs still have 2 runners on base for Tomáš Petr, but the Dutch on the verge of getting out of an inning without giving up a run for the first time in this game. Petr walked in the first inning and flew out to left field to lead off the 3rd. He hits that one hard but foul. Inside, 3-1. This is the 3rd batter that Lorenz has faced now. He's retired the last 2. So he's been effective so far, and he's trying to retire his 3rd straight batter and get out of this inning. Behind 3-1 on Petr right now. The umpire's saying 2-1. Well, the umpire's saying 2-1. The scoreboard says 2-2. And our on-screen graphic says 3-1, and there is some confusion. The Czech coach, Kusi, even coming down, and the umpires now having a discussion over what the count is. I'm not sure if we have a verdict now. 3-1, he says. So, once again, our the Playo expert that we have controlling the graphics are right. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Count is full. So with a full count and 2 outs, the runners on 1st and 2nd will both be running on the pitch now. So if Petr can connect here, he could have a chance to drive in a couple of runs. Called strike 3. So after entering the game, Emeron Lorenz retires 3 straight Czech batters, and they were in a bit of a jam there, but retires 3 in order and strikes 2 of them out. So for the first time in the game, the Czechs put up a goose egg in the 4th inning. They still lead 8-2.
I'm here with Dan Vunik, the key pitcher of the Israeli team. Dan, how was this tournament for your team?
It was an amazing experience. I don't think we had more than 3 people on the team that had any experience in men's before, and we got pretty deep in the tournament, which was really cool. We got a lot of kids, a lot of experience, and it was a great time.
Yeah, we know you were the youngest team in the tournament, but traditionally the Israeli team is not based on individuals, but the whole team works together well. Do you have a special preparation for that?
How you mean how we work well together? Or yeah, I think we have a very small group of people that play softball in Israel, and so we all know each other pretty well, and we've played on the same teams a lot, so we come together pretty well. It's nice to see.
What would be your goal for the next championship? Do you have any thoughts about that yet?
The goal is to be the next level. I think we can get at least 1 or 2 levels better. This will be our goal for next time, and we know now seeing this as a country, we'll be able to prepare better. It'll help. It was a great time.
Thank you and good luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, Helena. And Dan Winnick there, as you just saw, he was talking about the Israeli team being a young team, and in fact, yes, they were the youngest team in this tournament. They had 4 players who are still in high school. That game earlier today, they lost to Belgium. Winnick was the team's best pitcher. He had quite a performance, but was definitely tiring as the game went on. They went into the bullpen a bit. They didn't really have the depth at pitching, and in a back and forth game, the Belgians ended up coming back to win that 11-7. Danik was also very dangerous at the plate, as at bat now we see Ildegardo Rapp giving a good wrap to that ball into foul territory. He's behind in the count, 0-2. In the tournament, Winnick batted .400. He was 6 for 15 with a couple of RBIs, a double. He was definitely, as I said, also not only the team's best pitcher, but also their offensive spark plug. He was a leadoff hitter. And down goes Rapp, struck out by Mach, who has just been mowing down the Dutch batters. He ran into a bit of a jam the last inning, but has now struck out 9 Dutch batters in this game. Beaumont and Rapp have both struck out twice in the game. Quincy Jones, who now comes to the bat, also struck out his first time up. So the bottom of the order having especially a tough time against Mach. 1-1 now. Called strike. Catches the top of the strike zone, 2-2. Strike 3 called to the knees. Strikeout number 10 for Mach in the game. You could say that was Mach 10. Yeah, well. bottom three batters in the lineup have both been Beaumont, Ropp, and Jones have both been struck out both times up. Delfina now, he is 0 for 1 in the game, a strikeout, and of course, he led off the game being hit by the pitch. 1-1 the count, sorry, 2-0 the count now to Delfina. Pitch was high. They're going to check to see, I think, if he went around. He did not. So the count now 3-0. Time called. Ball 4. So Delfina on base for the second time today. Of course, the first time he was the first batter of the game. He got on base and then was thrown out at second, attempting to steal. It was the start of it. Of course, remembering back then, the Dutch team really disagreed with the call, and it was only a question of whether or not he had come off the base after he made it, because based on the replays, there was no question that he beat the throw. It was the start of a rather nightmarish first inning for the Dutch, both on offense and defense. And each of the first 3 innings were pretty difficult. They came back in the 4th to score 2 runs in the top of the inning and then shut down the Czechs in the bottom half of the inning. So they will try to keep that going now, but they've got 2 out already. So Polonius started that rally in the 4th inning now. 1-2. Another stealing attempt by Polonius. This time he gets in there as the ball goes into center field. So Polonius on second base now with 2 out. Sorry, Delfina on second base. Polonius at the plate. The count is 1-2. And now with the runner in scoring position, he's got a chance to possibly drive in a run. As the Dutch try to chip away at this deficit and at least, if not win this game outright, at least try to make this a complete game and not have the mercy rule enacted, as Mertel and Mach have a brief conversation. Make sure they're on the same page as far as signals. You can sometimes on the monitor see some of the signals by some of these catchers. Some describe it better than others. That one's high, 2-2. Hit right to the shortstop. Casal over to first base for the out. So the Dutch tried to get something going with 2 out, but the Czechs get out of the inning. Middle of the 5th, the score 8-2. As we'll get another look at that. Ground ball. The Czechs go to bat in the bottom of the 5th, needing a run to end this game and the tournament. Coming up now, an interview with Amy Baran, an executive with the European Softball Federation.
Ami Baran, Secretary General of the European Softball Federation. Ami, tell us about this tournament a little bit.
So it's been a really great tournament. We've had some surprises. The Netherlands beating Denmark. Being here, it's really good, and I think it's going to be successful with the 12 teams that showed up this time, and hopefully next time we'll have more than 12.
What are the plans for softball in Europe from now on this year?
So this year we're going to have from August 28th to September 1st the Intercontinental Cup, and immediately after that we've already established Team Europe. Team Europe, we've got the 4 coaches with an extra one who's assisting them, and then we're going to be naming the players who have already been named, but we're keeping it a little bit of a secret until we give it out to everybody.
Who is the Team Europe going to play against?
The Team Europe will be playing the Black Sox, who are showing up for some of the tournaments before that. And then, of course, right after that, we're going to have our Super Cup. So the men's fast pitch is really going to grow, and I hope it's going to be really great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks again, Helena. And as Ami Baran just said, there were 12 teams at the tournament this year. The European Championships were in Havlíčkův Broad here 4 years ago. And at that tournament were only 6 teams. So you can see it's much bigger. Jiří Nesbeda leading off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Czech Republic. As I said, one of the mercy rule is a 7-run difference after 5 innings. With the score 8-2 right now, and the Czechs batting in the bottom of the inning, 1 run would end this game. Nesbeda 0 for 1 in this game. Inside, ball 3. Lorenz in his 2nd inning of work now. He came with runners on base the last inning and got 3 straight outs, including 2 strikeouts, but he puts Nesbeda aboard here on 4 straight pitches. Now comes Jiří Korčák, the 3rd baseman. Despite all the offense for the Czechs, Korčák has not produced a lot. He's 0 for 2. The last time up to bat, he got on a fielder's choice. And he takes a called strike there. Ground ball to the 3rd base side, just foul. And you have to wonder if that had made it over the bag and got down into that corner, whether there would have been a chance for Nesbeda to score from first base. One and 2. You know, the Dutch have got the pride here, and they do not want to see this mercy rule take effect. And Lorenz has his 3rd strikeout since entering this game. Korčák now 0 for 3 in the game. The Czechs now go to the top of the order which has been devastating so far, and you can hear the reception for Václav Svoboda as he comes to the plate. Svoboda has led off the game with a base hit and scored, walked in the second, and hit a 2-run homer in the third. He surely has it in mind. And time called here now. You can tell he's in their minds right now as Enrique Javier wants to talk to Lorenz about what they're going to do, because they know one mistake to Svoboda could end this tournament. Oh, and 2 now to Svoboda, trying to put another splash in the Sazava River. That home run he hit did not make it. It just barely cleared the fence. Not like the one hit by Klein in the second inning, which was a moonshot to center field. The 0-2. Oh, that was the last pitch. 1-2. Svoboda with 3 home runs in this tournament and 11 RBIs, counting this game. That one well outside. 2-2 now. Hit to third base. They're going to try for 2. Don't get this 2 outs. It was Dix over to Polonius for the first out. And Svoboda just barely beats that one out to keep the inning alive. So now David Mertel with up, as we're going to get another look at that. First pitch of Mertel is high. Mertel 1 for 3 in the game. He's singled. He flied out to center field and grounded out to shortstop. And he takes a called strike there on the outside corner, 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. And Svoboda goes down to second base. So the potential game and tournament ending run now in scoring position with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Merkel the batter. Tournament leader with 16 RBIs. Looking to add to that. The 2-1. 3-1. Strike 2. Javier fakes a throw down to second base, but there was, in fact, nobody covering the base, so it was definitely a fake all the way. Full count and 2 outs now. Ball 4. Well, they're saying it hit him actually. So that means Svoboda can't go anywhere from second base. Patrick Kopechny up to bat. 2 for 2. He's got 2 hits, including an RBI and a walk. Tie ball 1. Two and 0. Swing and a miss. 2 and 1. Foul back 2 and 2. As Lawrence 1 out away from getting out of this inning and extending this game to a 6th inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So we go off to the 6th inning. Another strikeout for Lawrence, who has been very good since entering the game. The score, Czech Republic 8, Netherlands 2.
S číslem 14 Eldrick, Lehen. Nadback, number 14 Eldrick, Lehen.
Eldrick Dykhoff now there to lead off the top of the 6th inning. It didn't look a couple of innings ago like we'd be going this far. Not when the Czechs led 6-0 after 2 and 8-0 after 3. But they've now, the Dutch have now shut out the Czechs the last 2 innings and scored 2 runs themselves. So we'll see if they can continue to chip away at this deficit. Dykhoff chases a low pitch there. Rips us. Shot just foul on the third base side. 0-2 the count. Ground ball to shortstop, gonna be trouble, it gets through. So a second hit of the game for Dykhoff. Take another look at that. Just out of the reach of the diving Casal. Left fielder Koluk with the play, getting it into the infield. Enrique Javier now, the batter. He's hit the ball hard today. He flew out to right field, and he hits it again to right field, but that's just foul. Yeah, we remember back in the leading off the second inning, he hit a shot that looked like into right field, that looked like it was going to drop in, and Jiří Nezběra made a fantastic diving catch. That was his first time up, and then in the third inning, he singled and eventually scored. Big cut there, 0-2. Points to himself there. My bad, I missed that. Thought about it, just laid off the pitch, 1-2. Gets a piece of that one. They're gonna have a chance at second base. The throw is low, but they do get the lead runner at second base. That was Klein, the first baseman. Over to Casal, the shortstop. Show was low. Casal with a big, good pick up there to get the lead runner. So with 1 out and a runner on first, it is Martin Guillot, now the batter, in a pinch hit for Kvas. Fouls that one away, 0-2. Guillot, if that's how it's pronounced, does not have a hit yet in the tournament, but he has scored 4 runs and has had 6 RBIs. He's walked once, and I have to assume has been used as a pinch runner. So with 2 out, he will try to extend this inning. And that ball goes to the backstop. Javier down to second base. If he can keep the inning alive, Emmeron Lorenz is on deck. And he has pitched impressively for the Dutch the last couple of innings. He has struck out, well, he's 1 for 2 at the plate, and we'll see if that pitching has put him in a better frame of mind. 2 and count now full after Mach had Guillot at 0-2. Lays off the pitch in the dirt, and not only does Guillot walk, but Javier goes down to third base on the wild pitch. So first and third with 2 out for Lorenz. As you see there, Javier pulling up into third base. Lorenz now. Maybe a chance to knock in another Dutch run. Sorry, there's only 1 out. He takes low ball 1. The 1 out was Dykhoff being retired at second base as the lead runner on that fielder's choice hit by Javier. And Lorenz takes low 2-0. One of the advantages that the Czechs have in this tournament is their deep pitching staff. Now, Mach has pitched great today, but as Lorenz hit that one on the ground to second base, a chance for 2. They get 1. The ball is thrown away. I'm not sure they would have got Lorenz anyway, and a run scores. That's Javier scoring on the ground ball hit by Lorenz over to Casal. They get Guillot for the second out. So the score now 8-3. See the ground, the Casal over to Petr. Tried to relay it over to Klein. The throw was offline. I'm not sure they would have got Lorenz anyway. And how about this 8-3 now? As in the last 3 innings, the Dutch have outscored the Czechs 3-0. And Ron Dix will be the next batter. No, sorry, Robert Hoivelman. Hoivelman, if that's how it's pronounced. Another batter coming to the plate has been used. He has only 1, as near as I can tell. He does not have an at-bat in this tournament. He has played defensively. He has an assist and a put-out, but no offensive statistics whatsoever. So I don't know if this is just a chance to get everybody into the game, everybody into the tournament. Big swing and a miss there by Hoivelman. Oh, and 2. With 2 out, I wonder if you'll see Lorenz attempt to steal with 2 strikes. He's going. No, he did not. Ball on the ground. Just foul. Edelgardo Ropp on deck. He has struck out. I can understand why they would pinch hit for Heuvelman for Beaumont. Beaumont has struck out twice today, even though he is normally expected to be one of the bats. And he hits that one hard, but that one will be foul. So Leeds, he has not looked, even though he has 2 strikes on him and no balls, he's made solid contact on a couple of foul balls. He pulled that one, but well foul, but he's not been overmatched. Strike 3. So 11 strikeouts now for Mock. Down goes Heuvelman. To finish that thought, I was wondering why he has not batted at all in the tournament before then, but I have no answer to that and cannot ask anybody how to explain that for now. So we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Czech Republic with a 5-run lead.
Na palce s číslem 19 Tomáš Klein. Number 19 Tomáš Klein.
Tomáš Klein comes to the plate to lead off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Czech Republic. Big game today for Klein. A 2-run double, a 3-run homer, and a walk. And if you saw his first 2 plate appearances, it's not hard to understand why the Dutch pitching staff has not been too interested in pitching to him. This is his 4th time up, and I think this is his 4th different Dutch pitcher he's faced in the game. Lawrence has been in now his 3rd inning of work. Has been quite impressive. He has given up some hits and some base runners, but no runs have been scored on him yet. And another walk to Klein. Matos Casal. He hits that one hard. Does that cut the distance? It certainly does. That one's gone. I think over the Rebel attempt. 2-run homer. And that's 10-3, and that's the ball game. So Tomáš Klein couldn't go deep. But Casal, in fact, that's his first hit of the game, and it's a big one. And this place has come alive as he hits a walk-off 2-run homer. It gives the Czechs a 10-3 lead, and the 7-run difference necessary to enact the mercy rule. The third home run of the game, and the two teams, as you see the cheering fans, two teams now shaking hands. You got to give it a hand though to the Dutch players who even extended this game to the 6th inning, because I've got to say, around the 2nd inning, it looked like this game would go maybe 4 innings maximum. The Czechs scored 3 runs in the 1st inning. Let's take another look at that bomb. Out, yeah, it's somewhere out there. It went over the rebel tent. Yep, just clears it, and I think that might have splashed into the Sazava, which is just beyond that outer fence there in left field. So a dramatic way to win the tournament, win the European Championship. As I said, 3 runs in the 1st inning for the Czechs, 3 more in the 2nd inning, 2 in the 3rd to make it 8-0. And it looked like it was probably going to end in the 4th, and if not, then for sure the 5th. But the Dutch shut out the Czechs in the 4th inning and in the 5th and scored 2 runs of their own. Scored another run in the top of the 6th to cut the difference to 8-3. But that 2-run blast from Casal makes it a 10-3 final. This was the 3rd time in 2 days that these two teams met each other, and nobody gave the Czechs more trouble than the Dutch. They beat them, in fact, they're the only team that beat them in the tournament, 11-6 yesterday, early in the afternoon. They met again the last game of the day. The winner of that game would advance to the final, directly to the final. The Czechs won that game 7-0 in a mercy-shortened 5-inning game. As you saw for a moment there, the hardware. The Dutch, you know, they were expected to maybe be a bronze medalist at this tournament. They were a bit of a surprise to beat the Czechs in that one game. It was also a surprise then that today, we're going to see, remember that play back in the 2nd inning, one of the key plays in the game, that great catch by Jiří Nesbieda in right field. And of course that bomb there by Klein in the 2nd inning, that was a blast. That was the one by Svoboda that just cleared the left field fence. And then that one there by Casal, no question about it. And the welcoming party at home plate. There they are, the Czechs, getting ready to celebrate. We're going to have soon the post-game ceremony, and when that starts, we're going to hand it down to the public address announcer. We're also going to have some post-game interviews. But that's going to be a wrap for our coverage of this 2018 Men's European Softball Championship.
Ben Tempest, head coach of the Dutch team. Ben, you made it to the Worlds, you made it to the finals. The finals didn't work out really. What are the feelings now?
Well, I'm obviously disappointed because we came here to win gold. We knew it was a big test against the Czechs, but we gave it our best. And we didn't succeed at the end, but really pleased with the way we worked this week. And now prepare for the Worlds next year.
Do you think there was anything you could have done better, or were the Czechs just a stronger team?
Well, they put the pressure on us right from the beginning, so they did a really good job, and I want to congratulate them. In the end, I think they deserve to win, but obviously we have to work on some things and come out stronger next time.
Thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome.
Well, definitely good feelings for the Dutch team winning that silver medal. An even better team, obviously, for the Czechs winning that gold. Both teams will be playing in the World Championship here in Havlíčkův and in Prague next year. And there, the coach just gets soaked by the team. The ice cooler. Well, as I said before, that's going to do it. So for Dan Morgan, who was a help on our other telecasts yesterday and today, I'm Derek O'Brien. Good night from Havlíčkův.
Jonas Mach, winning pitcher of the final game. Jonas, this is the 4th title in a row for the Czechs. Tell me what's going on in the team at this moment.
Well, everybody's obviously very, very happy. I mean, it doesn't get any easier, you know.
How was this game for you? Was it a difficult one?
I mean, yes and no. We had a big lead from the beginning, which was nice. But then, you know, we kind of stopped hitting. They started hitting. You never know how it's going to turn out, but fortunately we won.
Czech softball and the men's fast pitch seems to be the dominant one in Europe. What else do you want with Czech softball in the world, maybe?
Well, obviously, our big mission is the World Championship next year. And, you know, the best spot I think we've been in was the 6th. And we would definitely like to improve that, especially in front of the home crowd. That would be nice.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
and
everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Please the team of Denmark to come on the field for the closing ceremony.